Hello, everybody. It's Bob Anderson, and today is May 31st, 2024. So we're heading into June, and God, I don't like June trading. But what do I hate less than June trading? How about July trading? What do I hate less than July trading? How about August trading? So, anyways, we're going to get into some tough trading coming up here, folks. So, to give you an example, today I took an overnight open trade and it worked beautifully. And then I just shut down my charts and I came back later and I saw that the overnight open had some lovely setups. So what I want to do is I want to emphasize this video about the overnight open. I'm going to go over different charts and as the time goes on and show you what I would have been looking at if I took those trades. I'll show you the trade I did take, why I took it, and which overnight open trades I would not take and why I would not take them. This is why I would not take them. You can come up with your own perspective. Then at the end of the video, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just discuss some of this Apex drama, and I'm going to do it from a perspective of a trader myself who has traded with Ninja, oil, gold, ES, those instruments in the past with real live accounts with funds in excess of 100 grand with real money. And what it's I'm going to, and then what's going on with Apex, and I'm going to kind of give my 10 cents from that perspective, because I think a lot of people don't have both those perspectives, and those that do probably going to really understand what I'm talking about. So anyways, that's at the end, because what's most important are these charts and having a plan and having a strategy and having an approach. All right, so here we go. All right, so what I first want to start off with is the NQ. That happens to be the trade that I took in the overnight open, was the NQ. Little unconventional. It's not okay, so let's talk about this for a second. I truly believe in summer trading, we're going to have a lot of consolidating days, okay? And it's on those consolidation days that if you can see when the market's playing on one side or the other, that line in the sand, the overnight open, which is that yellow dotted line across the screen, if you can figure out how to use that to your benefit, that's where you can get some bigger trades when you're trading in a market that is summer trading. That's the hardest part about summer trading, in my opinion. It's easy to see patterns in summer trading, actually, because things don't move as ridiculous. But the problem is you have to struggle to get follow through even on those patterns when you don't have all the traders lined up like you normally do, say in September and October. So that's why I've talked about focusing on the 5-minute red line and say, for example, the overnight open for summer trading, because if you can identify those two as being powerful lines, because the 5-minute red line, which is your 105 SMA on the 1-minute chart, i.e. 21 SMA on a 5-minute chart, is a very strong line. After you get past about 10 o'clock, boy, it'll just has a tendency to dictate the direction of the market. Well, the irony is the overnight open has a tendency to do the same thing. It has a tendency to dictate the side of the market that you're going to trade from. Now, I'm going to show you something today, okay? I'm going to show you how powerful this line is. And think about the possibilities when I show you this, okay? I'm going to show you two overnight opens today that you should go, holy crap. Okay. So let's talk about this one. This is the NQ, not my favorite instrument. But anyways, I'm sitting here with it on my charts, and so I have to take it, if it lays out in my mind. I'm looking at when I woke up this morning and I opened up my charts, and it took a while. I think we had data issues again today. I don't know. It took me forever to get my charts to open. But when they finally did, I could see that the overnight open was going to be in play today because price was not far from it before we ever even got to the open. So let's just talk about this quick, so I can kind of speed this up. But here's 8:30 news. Just literally, boom, right through the overnight open. Okay. So, after the 8:30 news and this kind of rolls around, you can be kind of thinking, in my mind, if we come back down, that'll be a retest of the break. You know what I mean? If we go up and then back, retest the break, and then run. Hey, we could be having a long day today. Excellent, excellent, excellent. But instead, the market opened right here, and we went through it. Now, see, these candles went right through it. Now, again, this is right during the open, so I stay away from it. But again, this line is extremely powerful. I'm going to show you how powerful this line is in just a minute. But I'm going to show you the trade I took instead, okay, first. Not the one that you could have taken for even more money. So let's just talk about this. So this thing, it just comes down and goes right through the overnight open, which again is why I'm looking for the candle. If we have reach, and we look for the candle to break, for example, on the long, I'm looking for the candle to break the high, the candle to the right to break the left, high for a continuation back in the direction of the long. To be honest with you, when I looked at that, I really anticipated them to come back to the overnight open and then just take off with it, which was going to leave me, with no trade, because in my mind, that's what I thought they were going to do. Because the pattern was there. You'll see here in a minute exactly what I'm talking about. But so when the market kept waiting to even get there until after it just opened, it crossed this overnight open finally. It pierced the overnight open finally at 9:34, and it just went down through. Well, at that point, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. The overnight open is a 1-minute candle trade on a 1-minute chart. For me. So I don't care that it's a 5-minute candle may cover the whole thing. I don't care. To me, it's a 1-minute candle trade on a 1-minute chart. So I don't really care. Well, then what it did is it blew up to here. Okay, well, this is not breaking any Donchian channels. Okay, and then it violently, look at this, violently blew through. And here we go. Hold on here. What's going on? Give me a second here. All right. It violently went through the overnight open for the second time, by the way. If you'll notice, this was the first time. This was the second time. Not that matters. But what is important is it broke the Donchian channel down here, and it went up and up. And I took the break of this candle right here. Boom, down, bam, full $100. I was done. That was it. Now, why did I do that? Because it was the crossover pullback to the downside. Now, is that crossover pullback to the downside? Was that crossover pullback to the downside actually a signal of the direction the trade was going to go for the day? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Is this Is this possibly a signal of the direction? So for you swing traders, first of all, minimum, you could have been gone from here back to the daily low, okay? Because this was the low of the overnight. But this thing blew right through it. But with the overnight open, was able to recognize the point of reversal in the market. How amazing is that? Just that one line. So there you go. All right. And that was it. Once it did that, it's gone. I mean, we're way away from it, blah, blah, blah. They may actually, let's just for fun, let me come back over here and look. They may actually run this thing back to here because they have a tendency to do that. Anyways, so there you go. That's it. Now for you swing traders, think about that. Think about what I just said. You broke the Donchian channel to the downside. You had a pullback right in there, violent pullback after a violent push through the overnight open. And then, bam, break of the candle, it's gone. Okay? So, let's talk about how it's confusing to see this in the NQ. Okay? Is this line powerful? That's the question of the day. Is this line powerful? You tell me. Because I'm going to show you something that happened at the same time. Another equity market. This is the RTY. Does this pattern look familiar to you? 8:30 news blows right through the overnight open. Okay? Blows right through the overnight open. Creates daily highs, rotates back, hits the overnight open, bam, back to the daily high. Now, does anybody notice that both of them did the same thing? Both of them rotated off that overnight open after a smooth pullback to the either daily high or the daily low. Both of them did that. And they're both equity markets. One went long and the other went short. I mean, that's amazing to me. That tells you the power of those lines. Now, let's just talk about this. This thing hit the overnight open at 9:33. So, I was, again, I may have confidence in this trade and all that stuff, but I'm sweaty Betty at the open of the market. Matter of fact, that crossover taken short, I was still kind of, a little bit nervous about that one because we hadn't even gotten to 10 o'clock yet. But man, it was laying right there in front of me. But can you see that this line right here, even at 9:30 in the morning, that this line right here was that important? Was that important? So important, it ran price right back to the daily high. Is that not amazing? If that doesn't ring a bell to you, you probably, other than the news itself, you probably will not find another line on your charts all day long that has that much impact on price. And if you remember, you saw what impact it had on the NQ. It's astounding. Okay? As I've said, it doesn't play every day because price can be way up or price can be way down. But on those consolidating days, boy, sometimes you can get lucky. You really can get lucky. And that right there, again, another swing trade. That's a beautiful swing trade. The break of this red candle is 66. The top is 78. So you're talking 12 points, 120 ticks in the RTY. Just like that. Ding, 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 ding. It's amazing. Now, so I think it's important that you, in my opinion, that you learn how to recognize those. Let's take the time element out of here. Those good trades. Take the time element out. What do we have here? We have violence, 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 boom, gone. You want that, you don't want that meandering. So, what does meandering mean? Well, I'll show you what meandering is. This is meandering. Hold on here. I gotta pull this chart over. This is oil. Oil had a meandering. Now, by the way, the overnight open in oil worked, but you probably would have lost all your hair on your head waiting for it to work. So you get out, here's the market again, blows up at the news, because the government's lying about inflation, all that standard shit. And then it rolls over, and then blows right through the overnight open. You see that? So kind of like the scenario we had in the NQ. Okay, blew right through it. I mean, violent. These are nice long red candles. Blew right through it. No rebound up. Candle opens and closes below it, and then it meandered, and then it came up. Now, is that overnight open powerful? Is it a directional trade instrument? Absolutely, it is. It is the market likes to play either south of it or the market likes to play north of it, and it's up to you to figure out if they're going to use it during the day, which is sometime in the early morning. What way are they going to use it, and how is it going to dictate the market? So it blew through here, sat up on here, and ultimately what happened? Oil did the same thing. It went back to the daily low, and it kept on going. So do you see how that line is a direction? Now, I wouldn't have taken that trade because of all this hoopy doopy stuff here. Okay, that doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make you wrong either if you did. I'm just saying I wouldn't have. Okay, but that's an example of like meandering. This slamming down. If this candle had closed and you were looking for a long, my buy would have been right there to go that direction. You see what I'm saying? Back to the daily high, just like the RTY had done. But it didn't, and it never, you never got faked into a bad trade because it kept going, and then it opened and closed this candle on the south side of the overnight open. So there's no more trade long potential, period. Done. Case closed. Katie barred the door. Now you're looking to see if maybe you get now you're looking to see if you, in my opinion, when it crosses the overnight open, I am always seeking a spike down like the NQ was, and then a violent pullback into the overnight open so I can take that rejection. And now we know the direction of the market. Is that not powerful? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Is that not powerful? Let's see if gold. Okay, so let's talk about gold for a second. All right, so gold, same kind of scenario. The news happens. I mean, they all did the same thing. News happens, boom, it runs up through daily highs. Here's your overnight open. Down it comes, and then it stops right there. It doesn't quite get there. Now, every once in a while, that'll happen because there's so many buyers lining up. Sometimes it doesn't actually pierce the overnight open. I am too conservative. So I did not look for any trade there. But then it rolled down again, rolled up, and then wham, violently through gold's overnight open. Then what happened? Holy shit, we created a Donchian low. We rolled smooth candle, bam, short. This had a pretty deep pull here, I got to admit. But it was the direction of the market. all four instruments that I pay attention to today had their markets determined based off of a pivot of the overnight open. Now, is that not amazing? Anyways, so that's that. Okay. Now I'm going to give you my 10 cents on this Apex drama as I understand it. I stay out of drama as much as possible. I got enough of it in my own life. I build houses for people. You want to know what drama is? Try building houses for 20 people at a time. Anyways, so I'm going to give you that here. Let me shut these charts down. All right. So let's just quickly about Apex, prop firms, whatnot, from a perspective of somebody who has traded, with large balance accounts in the past for futures trading. And for those of you that don't know that, in the past, I traded, with the ES gold, oil, gold a little bit, oil mostly, and ES. With real accounts, real money, before I started up my modular business in about 2013 or so. And then I stopped trading. Okay. And the reason I'm here today is because, I sold too many houses and my staff couldn't keep up. So here I am. But my point of this video or this comment is that sometime this past week, I get an email or a text, I can't remember. And it's a link to Apex where they did some videos. One of the people that works there, John Skelton, I think. I can't remember his last name. But John did these videos and I opened them up and I'm like, Jesus, man. They're like, each one of them was like 50 some minutes to an hour and a half. And there was like 4 or 5 of them. I don't remember how many. I was like, oh, well, I don't have time for this. I mean, I don't have time for this. But then my phone started getting messages and I was getting some emails from people and stuff like that saying, hey, have you watched the videos? Which I then, because there was people telling me this stuff, I thought, well, okay, I'll watch the first one. So I watched the first one, I don't know, 50 some minutes or whatever. And it was at night. I sat there for 4 hours plus and watched all of them because the first one intrigued me so much. Why did it intrigue me so much? Well, because I just, I don't partake in Facebook groups. I don't partake in Discords. I don't partake in other people's YouTube drama. I don't partake in any of that stuff. I got enough stuff going on in my own life. And I truly put these videos out there hoping some people can get some benefit out of it. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy showing it when I have time. But what I did not realize is that the organization that I've been doing business with was attracting a lot of people who were utilizing their services, but not necessarily in the best interest of the organization or whatever. And don't get me wrong. I've said it in these videos before. Don't get wrapped up in the fact that there's a 90% off sale. Don't get wrapped up in the fact that there's a pass in one day. Don't get wrapped up in that stuff. Stay with your plan. Stay with your strategy, whatever it may be, even if it's not mine. Just, do your thing and don't get caught up in the hype and don't let them sell you something you don't need. Okay? So that's what you as the consumer should know. The flip side is when I first started using Apex, which was my first ever prop firm that I ever used in my life, never thought about using a prop firm until 2022 when I happened to see a YouTube video and somebody was talking about it. And I said, well, heck, Because at that time, all my money's wrapped up in my modular business, all my capital. Even trading really was not available for me. um, but when I saw Apex and I saw what they did, I thought, oh, okay, I could do that. Anyways, what is the benefit of Apex versus me trading my own money? Well, the reality of it is the ability to trade and make money without having all that money at risk. And so that's a huge benefit. And now for those of you who are relatively new at trading, the other huge benefit is just, the fact that the cost to do this is significantly lower than if you were trying to do this yourself with your own money. Between leasing Ninja, between getting the data service, between having to fund your account, between having to trade real money funded. I mean, something like an Apex, a Lilu, whatnot, allows you to learn how to do this on your own. And I mean, they didn't, what? This is amazing to me. And then it'll help you build your confidence over time. And in the process, if you can get enough payouts and stuff to keep your head above water, it's like having a free education. That's a hell of a lot cheaper than the education I got sitting over here from the University of Notre Dame. Okay. So that is some of the benefits. What are the negatives? Well, the negatives are rules. Okay. There's rules, but at the same time, the objective, if it's legit or not, I don't know. Okay. I'm being honest. I don't know if the objective really is, for them to have you become a funded trader and, split money with you and stuff. I really don't know if that's the case. Okay. So let me just put that out there. But your benefit that you could get is, in my opinion, is far more valuable than the benefit they're going to get out of one individual. That'd be you, as long as you use their services properly. But apparently, there's large groups of people whom figured out some of the gaps in their business model at Apex, in my opinion. One being that, hey, you can get these accounts at 90% off, and if you can pass in a day. So there were people literally buying, and I watched the videos. I was shocked to see, people just trading one direction and the other with different accounts and stuff like that. And then the one that passes, boom, that's the one they turn around and go and get their funded Apex account with. And then they take their PAs and they do the same thing, until the 30% rule came out. And then, but anyways, the whole point of that was that, Apex has a valid point in one respect. And that's this: as a person who's traded with real money, nobody would ever use these strategies with real money. Nobody would just buy long here and buy short here and see which one works. Nobody would take an NQ long with a 5-tick target and no stop losses. The funny part about me hearing this is I remember one day, it was several months ago, that I had a slow day. It was slow at work or whatever, probably around the holidays. Now I think about it, and I turned on my TV at the middle of the day, my YouTube, and I saw this trader on there, and he was trading Apex accounts live. And so I said, oh, well, let me see what he's doing. So he had an NQ chart on his screen, and he was just taking longs. Now taking shorts. He had some very good. I was hard to understand what he was saying because he was foreign, but he had a very good story behind why he's taking this long, why he's taking this short. And, there's a lots of people watching him. But what I noticed after sitting there watching this for a while is he's got no stops on his chart, nowhere. He's got no target on his chart, nowhere. He's just waiting to see if this goes up or if this goes down. And if it goes down, I'm going to buy some more into it. I'm like, oh my God. Because if any of you blow up your accounts at Apex now on a routine basis, okay, and I'm guilty of what I'm about to say, but the number one way I've done it in the past, the number one way I've blown up my accounts with Apex, which I would never do with my own real money, is buy into losing trades. And that is something that Apex says is, against the rules. Do I read their rules? I mean, no. Okay, I really don't. I don't read the rules because my strategy fits their rules. It's clear as day. I mean, it's got specific entries. It's got specific targets. My risk management 2-to-1 is probably better than 90% of people that even trade this stuff because I'm looking for at least 2-to-1, depending on the trade. So anyways, but that doesn't mean that that's what people are doing to pass these things and get funded, and then they blow up their accounts. They pass these things and get funded and then they blow up their accounts. I'm not saying that they're wrong and Apex is right, or I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is if the real relationship that Apex is trying to have with traders is to have traders prove consistency, which, by the way, the mere fact that they have passed in a day does not bode well for them in that statement that we're looking for consistent winning traders. Because how the hell would you have a consistent winning trader that passes in a day? But anyways, besides all that, if that truly is their goal, then obviously they don't want somebody who just, when the news hits, has some contracts go long, some contracts go short, and then see if it wins. So my understanding is that's the kind of stuff they're trying to clear. Now, the problem is, okay, and I've had problems with their customer service before. Those of you who watch my channel know that. I have had problems with their customer service before. And the problem is, I think now anybody that has anything somewhat sideways is now a scammer to them. And I think it's because if you watch those videos, you'll see that millions and millions and millions of dollars had been extracted from Apex by these schemes that are never going to create a consistent, profitable trader, period. Ever. Never. Never, never, never. So, I just know that I need to use a place like Apex because I know what it's like to not. And it's not very appealing to be trading live money. When my phone dings all the time and I'm busy. I mean, if I blow up an account because I walk away from my chart and forget that I have a dangling order on there, which I've done before with Apex. And what did I do? I blew up my accounts, but that didn't blow up my real money. So there's so much benefit that I get. My objective with that benefit is to take advantage of that benefit, not to get caught up in their BS, not to get caught up in their whatnot, and anything that they're talking about for rule changes or whatnot, never going to impact me or my trading strategy, in my opinion. If it does, then they need to shut down, because my strategy is as simple as can be. Here's your entries, here's your targets, here's your stop loss. Trade works or it doesn't. Go look for the next one. Anyways, that's my 10 cents. I know some people, by the way, personally, who have been caught up in the scam word inadvertently, because there are so many scams that were going on that anybody that looks a little sideways at all for any reason whatsoever is now a scammer to them. A good example is if you got a highway and the speed limit's 55 miles an hour, and you've got these cars that keep going through there at 80, and the mayor says we got to stop the cars from speeding. So the police sit out there all day long, and they stop all these people going 80, but at the same time they stop the people going 55 and a half, because the word they heard is you got to stop the speeders. And so you can be 55 and a half, and your tires are the wrong size for your odometer, and you really think you're doing 54, for those of you that don't know that. And so it was inadvertent that you broke the rules, but you just got classified with the people doing 80. Anyways, everybody have a good day. Have a nice weekend. And spend some time looking at the things I'm talking about. I think might help you out. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.